And we're off to the races. Thank you so much for tuning in to Karma's a Mitch, my brand new project where I just want to make something and have some fun and, of course, just put my words out there because someone's going to listen and someone's going to enjoy it. Just got back from Sir Winston Churchill doing some career coaching out there today, so it's a little bit different. If you saw my Instagram story, you can follow me on Instagram, by the way, Mitch.fm. MITCHDOTFM. If you saw my Instagram story, you know that I did like a half-hour podcast earlier today, but that was when I just woke up, so I was kind of sleepy, not super into it at the beginning, but I got better as I got towards the end, so I figured, hey, why not? Let's just do a quick little one here today and make it a little bit shorter, not go too far into more podcasty stuff, and keep this to like an episode 0, get through the who, what, where, when, and why of Karma's a Mitch. So let's get into it. Who's Karma's a Mitch? I'm Mitch. Thank you so much for tuning in again. It's just some funny title we came up with during school. I didn't get in trouble for it, but I got stern looks and very stern don't say that around the microphones. So I said, you know what? It's not anything actually bad. Like, my name is Mitch. Like, I'm not twisting something so it kind of sounds like a swear word. That's just what it was. I'm Mitch, and it does kind of sound like the saying, or the song as well, if you know JoJo Siwa. Oh my goodness. But Karma's a Mitch. It fits me super well. If you know me, a lot of people have reached out to me and have said, dude, amazing podcast name. I don't know who said it first. I don't know if I said it or if one of my friends, Steph, said it. So hey, shout out Steph. I know she kept saying it, and we kind of got in trouble because I was saying it around the microphones, and I guess I'm not supposed to, but I'm gonna say it now. So welcome to Karma's a Mitch. You can find me on all the socials. You can find probably the podcast everywhere as well. I know it is definitely going up on Instagram today. I don't know about like Spotify or Apple or any of the other. Are there other? I don't listen to podcasts much. I know I used to listen to them on Apple, but now I kind of just do 2 of them. I do Unsub and Lewis Spears' podcast, Spearhead Sundays, as well on just YouTube primarily. So hey, we'll figure it out. We're gonna figure it out how as we go along. That's what this is for, and that gets us kind of into the what. It's just a fun little side project, so I continue to make something, because that's really what I got into the creative sphere for. I was going to go and be a vet. That was my plan for like a decade before I got into like grade 11 and 12. I'm gonna go into that probably next week as I talk more about the career coaching, as I knocked stuff off of my desk here. Maybe you heard that, maybe you didn't. Who cares? That's another thing, is just to move forward and to run with how it goes. Don't do too much editing because it is a podcast. Again, Spearhead Sundays is one of the big inspirations for this. He's more of a comedian. He's been doing it for over 10 years now, but crazy, amazing, funny dude. And he just goes and he takes it. And when he started out, I didn't really know it because I didn't really watch him too much or much of his earlier stuff. His mic arm would fall apart, and it would be like 20 minutes of him trying to cobble back together a mic arm so he could continue the podcast. And he would just keep it all in because that's just who he was, and that's kind of what I want to do, because I want to kind of take back the veil. I mean, not really that there was much of one in the first place, but I want to start putting more out there, and I just want to start doing it, because what's most difficult for me is just starting. So let's go. I have where in here because who knows where it might happen. I can do some live stuff. I could do some location shooting as well. I have some ideas for covering some sports as well. I'm going to cover probably my brother's U8 soccer because I think it's hilarious. So towards the end, I'm going to talk about the soccer here in Ultimate, and I think it's just really funny. Because they have games every week, and I've gone to all of them so far, and there's more tonight, so I'm going to go to that too, and hopefully get this out before then. So where, who knows what I'm going to do. Keep it open and keep it optional. Like I can do whatever I want because it's mine. There's no expectation of quality. There's no expectation of anything. It's just every Monday there's going to be something, and it's going to change, and it's just going to give myself an opportunity to try something else new and to make things better every single week. Hopefully on Mondays. That's the when. We're at 4 W's. Let's get into the why. I really started this because the hardest part is starting. I always want something to be perfect when I pick it up. So this is just another way I can just let go and let myself get better. It's one of those things where, I try to do it and I go, I just want to do that differently. I've done it already today. I had a 30-minute podcast already recorded and I haven't gotten rid of it. I'm looking at it now, but it gives me the opportunity to try and let myself do what I can do and not what I want myself to do. Because a lot of the time I've just been in that mindset of, oh my goodness, I'm kicking stuff now. I've always been in that mindset of, I want to do this at this quality that I don't know how to do because I don't do it all the time. That's what made guitar so difficult. That's what made like piano. I was pretty good at clarinet, but that's basically a recorder. That's like what is stopping me from just starting to just post stuff and just start to get myself out there. So this is just the start. It's just audio. I know it's going to go on YouTube. I don't know about Spotify or anything else today, but we'll see. We don't know. That's why it's episode 0. That's why we're getting it out just today and just to do something, to put something out there and just start. Because it was, I think Saturday, and I went, you know what? I should do it. And I started looking into stuff on Sunday, and then I was hoping to record then, didn't manage to get to it because I was just running around so many different things. And today I woke up and I went, it's got to be out today. No one knows yet. It wasn't until I made the social media story, Instagram story, as I had just gotten lunch and I got back to my car and I was like, if I don't do this, I'm not going to do it. If I don't tell people that, hey, this is coming today, I'm going to go, you know what? No one really knows. I can just put it off to next week. I can do it again. I was planning on doing it, started December, well, like mid-December, when I hit 20 last year, and then and I just never did it. And then I was planning on like, into January, and then I don't know, maybe when I'm done school, maybe when I'm done. Now I have nothing to do. I have nothing else to do. I don't have crazy amounts of work right now. They let me go from KX, which a lot of people shocked to hear that, but don't worry, I'm okay. I started out as again, I'm going to go into this more next week, sorry. But it's kind of my career journey that I'm telling all the students at the career coaching. I started out as a high school co-op. I was only supposed to be there for 4 months unpaid, and it turned into an amazing opportunity that is so much more than I could have imagined. So super props to everyone over at DRI in Hamilton. Amazing people over there. I listened to KX 94.7 for years beforehand, and I still continue to listen to them because I'm not upset. It happens. This will happen. Great references from there, and of course, amazing experience. So absolutely super stoked that they just won Major Market of the Year, I think, from the CMAOs, or like large station or large market, something like that. Can't remember it right off the top of my head, but they just won big award from the CMAOs this weekend. So super props to them. Where was I? This is another thing that happens when I career coach. I cut myself off and I go on a tangent because I only talk about things for like a minute 30 before I before I forget what I was talking about and change the subject. And now I've gone off on a tangent. Right, just like social media content. I'm not doing this as a job. I'm not doing this as like any expectation of quality. Like I can just do better. Again, it's just YouTube basically is my expectation for this week. Maybe I'll set up an RSS feed. I still don't know what that is really. We learned it, and I don't remember. But then it'll get to other places, and probably by next week I'll be actually out everywhere for weekly episodes. And I'm just really stoked just to give myself a little bit more. Maybe I don't even think this week I have a really good cover photo as well. I think I'm just using the same one I use for all my profile pictures, but it gives me an opportunity to just do better. And I don't have to hold myself to the highest standard. I just have to do a little bit better every week. I can evolve into video for YouTube. I can evolve into like music. I was looking a little bit into SoCan. I'm not 100% sure how that really works, but again, it's something I can look into, and then we can start talking about music commentary and that sort of thing. And then I can take it and turn it into like a YouTube channel and actually start doing videos and stuff based on it instead of just podcasting and doing all this sort of stuff. So I'm really stoked to see where it goes. And then who knows where it's going to go. I've been looking into doing some like short-term video, like TikToks and Reels and that sort of thing on like a parody of kind of like Letterkenny. I don't want to say like a parody of CHKX because I think a lot of people would look at it that way, but I don't think so. It's more like if Letterkenny had a radio station, what would it look like? And I have it all planned out for like 820 stock, and then like a corn stock, but STLK for the call letters, and do the first one in front of our. I think we have an 820. I don't remember, but like it's so much better than like redneck radio and that sort of thing, because it's a little bit more, and it's a little bit more story, and then to produce like actual audio sounders and that sort of thing for it, and then maybe even use that SoCan that license that I have, and kind of switch it around and be able to then use it for the videos as well. I don't know. I have to look into it, and this is the start. This is how I start, and this is how I am looking, and this is my plan for the summer, to look into, and of course try and get more jobs and something else, but just to show that I can do this and that I have started, and it's not the hardest thing in the world. So I have a couple things up my sleeve as well, a handful of stories, and just some plans about what to do every single week that keeps this to between about 15 and 30 minutes, I think, to start. And then once I get comfortable doing a podcast leaning towards the 30-minute side, to then push it towards 30 to 45, and then 45 to an hour, and then starting out like a whole hour podcasting, an hour plus. But again, I can't just start doing a whole hour podcast because it's hard. It is a really hard thing to do, is to sit down and talk for an hour about something. So I'm looking forward to just starting out, just trying, and of course having a lot of fun with this. So thank you so much for tuning in just to the start, and the start of Karma's a Mitch. I still love the name. Thank you so much to whoever came up with that. I don't quite remember. Steph keeps coming to mind. So thanks, Steph. Stephanie McDonald, On Air with Steph on, at the very least, Instagram. Awesome person. Now let's get into some weekly stuff that I want to do. Again, like I said, my brother is 8 years old, and he's doing soccer out here in Haldeman County. And so I have watched all of the games so far. He has only had one. They didn't have a practice beforehand, so they just let the kids go on the field and try and play themselves. They ended up losing 8-2. They faced off against the green team and lost, but there was this one kid on green that scored, I think, every single one of the goals. Anytime he touched the ball, he just struck off to the other end of the field, and no one knew what to do, and no one understood. But it was so funny. They need to work on goaltending and all that sort of stuff. And I'm really, it's really funny because I'm talking about this like it's a professional sports team, and I've bet money on this, but I don't. I just don't bet at all. And also, yes, I do hold them to the same caliber as professional athletes. I absolutely think these 8-year-olds should. I can't even say it with a straight face, but we're gonna see how they go tonight. They did have a practice, and from what I heard from my mom, they almost goofed off the entire time. So we'll see. I think it's just so fun to watch as well, because like they don't know what they're doing. Like they kind of do, but like they also can't really control their bodies still, because they're still like growing and running around and just like kind of flailing. That my brother had never really played soccer like at a not professional, but like league level. He always just like played in the playground at school, right? So he was like kind of watching everything, and then the ball would come to him, and he wouldn't really know what to do with it. So then he'd just like kick it down the field. And the other like parents and stuff that have been doing soccer forever, they're like, he's never played before. And mom's like, yeah, no, never like in the league or anything. They played at school. And they're like, he's got this defense stuff down. Like he's doing really good. So it was really funny to watch. But if you have like a field that you're near you or something, or even, it doesn't just have to be soccer, even like baseball, like watching like little kids play baseball and stuff. I see the videos of like not toddlers, but like especially just like younger kids, like first grade, like playing t-ball and stuff. Oh my goodness, it's so funny just to see the little tiny kids like trucking around with the big helmet on, and he like falls over because his head's too heavy. And that's what I kind of look what I kind of think of when I see any sort of little kid play sports. It's just so funny. Like when was it my brother, my other brother, my older younger brother, middle brother, and he I think when he was younger doing, I think t-ball maybe, I don't know, but we would go and watch that, and like the coach is out on the field and like trying to get them just to play the sport and not like just run around with the ball, because like, guys, you're at that level, like I can't just let you do whatever you want, like we're actually trying to play a game here. It's just the same like through across every single sport, and I think it's so funny. So again, they are 0-1 for the season so far. Next week I'll tell you how they did today, but I I think it's so much funnier. It doesn't matter if they win or lose, but it's so funny just seeing them run around and try and figure it out. So let's go into what I've been playing, just music wise as well, because that's something that's super big for me. And I have been playing a lot of like female artists, which was kind of surprising for me because I don't listen to much. I'm much more like 90s, like early 2000s rock, and not a whole bunch of female artists in there that I like. But I've been listening to a lot of like Avril Lavigne and Paramore as well, like Misery Business or Complicated by Avril Lavigne, or Girlfriend as well. Misery Business, of course, is Paramore. Of course, like super popular stuff, like that's like the singles and stuff. I haven't quite gotten into the albums yet, but I do need to look into them a little bit more. I heard Hinder come up when I was looking up like I think All American Rejects. I was looking at a handful of their songs because I wasn't too familiar, so I was looking into that, and I clicked one of those like YouTube playlists that they make themselves, and Lips of an Angel came up by Hinder, and I was like, this isn't All American Rejects. I had to go over, and I was like, oh, it's Hinder. So I went to their YouTube, and it's a 300 million view gap between Lips of an Angel and their next popular song. Like, do people even really listen to Hinder anymore? Like, really? because I was hearing on the radio that they were giving away tickets to go see Hinder at a music festival, and like if they're playing festivals and stuff, they can't be that popular, right? Like just one of those like I don't know if it was the music in the park or if it was one of those, because like I'm pretty sure they're an American band too. So like why would they be playing like a Canadian like tiny festival? But yeah, so Paramore, Avril Lavigne, Hinder, just a little bit, just the singles and stuff. I've still been just like so deep into Wilt. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm just like insane into this little band from LA called Wilt. You can follow them at Wilt Band on Instagram, or check them out on YouTube as well, because they have so much more stuff over on YouTube. I found them through a cover of Chappell Roan's Casual. Crazy good song. Like I scrolled past it first, and it wasn't until I got a couple videos past it did I go, did that say like like Chappell Roan, like what if Chappell Roan released it in 1994? So I went back and they like pulled a VHS tape off a shelf and put it into a TV, and like it started up into the song, and I just went, hold on. I know this song, and I like I've heard it before, like the original. This is so much better. So then I went over to YouTube and I played it, and then I played it again, and then I put it on a third time, and I was like, what is up with this band? Like this is insane for them, because it wasn't a complete copy. It's how you would typically do a cover, and they made it their own. So then I threw it up on my socials, and they actually responded to me. And I was like, oh, wow, you guys are like chill. And then it was just a rabbit hole from there. I went through and I grabbed some of their songs, and then it was a couple more, and then I threw them all on a CD, and I just had it in my car nonstop for weeks. Like, what was it, 3 or 4 weeks before I got rid of that car, and then I didn't have a CD player anymore. So then I was playing it off my phone now, and I can't have Casual on it because they haven't released it because of copyright and that sort of stuff. So I still now pull it up on YouTube before I take off, and then I can hit play from my car stereo and hear the rest of their stuff. So they have just taken me by storm. I don't see anything here that they released before 2023, but from what I've 2022. Gwen was 2022, but from what I've like heard about them, they've been doing it for a little bit now, but they are just crazy good. They just went on tour with another band, and they did also just release that they were going on their own like they were going to lead a tour. They were going to, what's it called? Now I can't remember. Headline. They were going to headline their own tour across America, and if I was going to be 21 and could get into the bars, I absolutely would have taken the 7-hour trip down to Chicago, which is the closest one to me. I am probably the only one in Canada with their album. They released a vinyl album not too long ago, and I actually had to have it shipped to like a shipping place, and then they had to ship it to me, and then they actually gave it to my neighbor, and so then I had to go and pick that up. So just amazing, and it had another song on it as well that they haven't released yet. I don't remember what it's called, but it's also really good. So I'm kind of hoping for that one to be released on Apple Music, because I like to buy songs. That's just how I roll. I can also just rip them from CDs as well. So that's how I get like most of my music. But like if I want something when I'm driving, when I'm doing something like that, that's when I actually buy the song. So I was like super stoked to see Wilt as well. I'm going to wrap this up because I'm almost at that half-hour mark already because I've just been talking about music for way too long. But yeah, so that's what I've been listening to. A little bit of Avril Lavigne and Paramore, a little bit of Hinder as well, just those big hits. But definitely check out Wilt as well. So thank you so much for tuning in to the first episode, or technically episode 0 in quotations, because I don't know when it's coming out for everyone else on everything else, but it's definitely going out on YouTube tonight. So thank you so much. We're going to make this a super awesome journey together, and of course, we're going to have lots and lots of fun. So thank you so much again. Follow me over on all the socials at mitch.fm, or check out my website, mitch.fm.ca. Thank you again so much. And remember, what goes around comes around, and karma's a Mitch.